Hello. Grab your tea, coffee, or whatever assorted warm drink you like. Quieten down, and welcome to the library. Okay, hi. I'm Ollie, and like every other person under the age of 30 recently, I have decided I want to start a podcast. My thoughts are I spend so much of my day yapping to myself because I have no one to yap to. I have no life. So, like every other young person, I thought, start a podcast. Record myself. I too was a child of the 2010s who spent far too much time on YouTube. So, of course, my biggest dream since a child has been to become a YouTuber. Obviously. But I don't want to become a TikTok star when I could become a YouTuber. So yeah. Here I am. We'll see if this ever makes it to the internet. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, welcome to the library. I need a topic to talk about. What have I been doing? What have you guys been doing? So, I have spent the last week cleaning my bedroom because, not to get into childhood trauma this early, but I'm a bit of a hoarder because my dad is an extreme hoarder. Extreme, maybe. Hoarder, yes. So I just don't know how to be clean. But I've been cleaning my room for a week. It's taken me 5 days to get to this point. But I was gonna say I can see my floor. I still have a pile of shit in the middle of the room that I need to deal with. But it's clean. I've moved my furniture around. It's tidy. I've taken out 3 maybe big black bin bags. Which I feel bad for because where I live, the black bin bags only get taken out once every 2 weeks. They only get collected once every 2 weeks. And I've taken 3. And I took some out last week. I took 2 out last week before it got picked up. It doesn't get picked up till next Friday. And half the bin bags in there are mine. Cause I'm churning out more waste than the other 2 people in my household at the moment. But yeah. I have also been recycling because I'm eco-friendly, you know. I know how to be green, so yeah, but it's been a weird experience because I have not seen my bedroom floor like this. I haven't seen my bedroom this clean in... I'm just gonna move this. Yeah, it's been a weird experience because I haven't seen my bedroom this clean in 5 years, maybe? 5 years because 5 years ago I moved into this bedroom and then all I had was a singular IKEA Kallax unit and a mattress on the floor, and I've just accumulated so much stuff that it's now a full bedroom. I think large amounts of this are dedicated to the sheer number of books in my room. So yeah, I've been a reader. I've always been a big reader, and because of that, I just have accumulated many books over. I'd say most of the books in this room I've accumulated over the last 6 years, maybe. Oh my god, it's been 6 years since I moved into this room. And I feel old. I moved into this room when I was 11, when I was just about to start secondary school. And I'm now in year 12. I'm retaking year 12. We will get into my academics at a later date. But yeah, I've been in this room for 6 years, so I'd say most of the books in this room I've accumulated over the last 6 or 7 years. Which is slightly insane because I have 2 big bookshelves and then a smaller bookshelves on that bit. And up there I have a cardboard box that's just full of books. And then on my stairs currently I just have like piles of books that are just all of the random books that I had like in random piles in my room. And I took them all out of my room to like have space while I was cleaning, and there's now like 150 books just on my stairs. And I haven't actually gotten around to counting how many books are in on the bookshelves, but that is something I would like to do, because I think you only need like 1,000 books to be a library, and I think I could surpass that in this household. Because I have a lot of books, and then there are loads of books in like other rooms in the house, so it could be intriguing to see how many books I have. It would also just be interesting to know, like that'd be a really nice fun fact to add to my library of fun facts. But yeah, it also doesn't include, you know, all of the books I have on my Kindle, which is probably a large number. I have fallen susceptible to the like Kindle Fire Day scam and downloaded like probably hundreds of books that I will never read because they were free. Can you see how I became a hoarder? This is my mindset, is if it's free, I should just take it. Also, that was like one of the only pieces of advice of like life lessons my dad ever gave me, was like when we were doing something out in central London, and there was people giving out cans of Pepsi Max. Don't know why. It was Pepsi Max. They were just giving out cans of Pepsi Max. So me and my dad went up to them, and we got a can of Pepsi Max. Then we went and drank it. Then we went back up to them and we were like, can we have some more? And this man filled an entire fucking plastic carrier bag with Pepsi Max cans. Pepsi Max cans. And then we walked around central London a bit more, and we saw another group of these people handing out Pepsi Max cans. And we got even more. And then my dad turned to me and went, you know, if they're giving out things for free, you should take them, because if not, they'll stop doing it. Now I have issues, because I just pick things up if they're free. Yeah, that's some of the very, very few pieces of advice my dad has ever given me. Next to don't snort don't. The only other bit of advice I can remember is don't snort sherbet. I have snorted sherbet. Everyone's snorted sherbet. That's just like a common teenage experience when you're like 13 to decide to snort sherbet. Like everyone did it. By sherbet, I'm actually talking about like the sweet sugary thing. Oh, there was another. What other piece of advice did my dad give me? Not very much. Don't do crack cocaine. That's like all I can. Actually, no. Did he say that? No. My dad told me that he doesn't like people smoking weed. His reasoning for this is that if he was going to do drugs, he would like to be bouncing off of the walls, off of his face, rather than sitting and debating the moon landing. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about my father, then I don't know what will. We'll get into the rest of my many stories about that man at a later date. Moving back to reading, I'm going to tell you what I've been reading recently. So the last book that I finished was actually the Inheritance Games. I bought it back in like 2021 when it first came out, like when it was first like getting big on TikTok, and I bought it and I started it and never finished it. I didn't really get into it, so I never finished it. But I've recently read the Natural series, which is also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and oh my god, it was beautiful. If you've not read the Natural series, go and read it, it's great. It's like, it's Criminal Minds, essentially, but they're like teenagers with like supernaturally like deep good brains. It's beautiful and I loved it. And I did really enjoy the series. I think some people were annoyed with like how it ended and how it went at the end, but I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought the plot twists and turns were quite fun. So yeah. Go read it. It was fun. I then read The Inheritance Games because I owned it and I thought I should read this. So I did, and I also really enjoyed it. It took me about a week to read because I was busy, but I really, really did enjoy it. And then I started the second one, but I was reading it online because I didn't want to pay for it. So I got like six chapters in and I haven't finished it yet. But we will get to that. What else have I even been reading? I can't get my phone out to like read through my story graph to tell you what I've been reading. So I'm currently using my phone for lighting through my salt lamp. Basically, when I was rearranging my bedroom, I laid my salt lamp on its side on my bed because I was moving my bed and my salt lamp was next to my bed and I was like taking these off, and like the bulb, but the thing inside the bulb broke, so it doesn't work anymore, and I haven't gotten a new bulb yet. So my salt lamp is, for the purposes of this video, on top of my phone with my phone torch on, because my only other lighting in this room is is this lava lamp that I've probably had for 10 years. I also do have one other light in there, but it's a electric tea light that doesn't work. Because I didn't want to put the big light on, because then I would just be washed out, and I don't want that. And also because if I put the big light on, then all you will be able to see is my background and not my face. Because trust me, I tried it. It is also almost 10 o'clock, and that's why there is no sunlight, because it is the end of British summertime, which means the sun is starting to set really earlier. Yeah, that's sad. It actually rained today. I live in the UK. Why am I surprised it rained? It's because it's summer and it's been like hot, like actually been very warm this year. Has it? Not really. It's been warm-ish. It's just been like consistently 20 degrees rather than a week of 40. So yeah, it actually rained today. It was annoying, so I was gonna go out and like go to the shops. But then it rained, so I haven't done that, which means I need to go out tomorrow because we have I need to buy food so that I can live. Because I have no pasta. What am I gonna eat if not pasta pesto? But I'm almost out of pasta and I'm almost out of pesto. So what am I gonna do? That just. Also, we're out of sugar, so I can't even stress bake. What am I meant to do with my life if I can't stress bake? That is I love stress baking, that's my thing. I love just baking random things in at nighttime, because why not? I'm attempting to learn to perfect my chocolate chip cookie recipe, because I'm not very good at making chocolate chip cookies. I can never get them to be that good texture. Not very good at it. I'm good at making brownies and I can make cakes, but I'm still trying to make chocolate chip cookies, and it's really annoying because all I want to do is eat chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, I will get there one day, but it does mean that I need to go to the shops. Also, because I used all of the sugar in my house to start making fruit syrups. Basically, I have a bit of an addiction to iced tea. I want to start making more of my own iced tea, because I normally just make oolong, iced oolong milk tea, but it was getting a bit boring. It was getting a bit old and also a bit expensive when I want to do things like drink Thai tea. I've been drinking a lot of Thai tea this week, but the box I buy, it's 7 sachets. 7 sachets last me 3 days because I drank too much of it, and that's a lot of money. Why would I do that? That's why I wanted to go out today, because I wanted to go and buy Thai tea powder so I could make more tea. This is a very British thing to say, that I want to make more tea. I also decided that I also was just scrolling through TikTok and I saw someone talking about making cool iced teas for the summer. And they said to use lemon syrup. And I was like, what is lemon syrup? it's lemon syrup. So then I looked again on TikTok to see like how do I make fruit syrups, and basically it's literally just cut up fruit in like and sugar, and then you put it in an airtight container and you leave it in the fridge. So I now have no sugar in my house because it's all making lemon and strawberry syrup that I can have in tea, which is great. But it does mean I need to go to the shops, which is really annoying. I will, however, be going to Aldi because I am broke. So yeah. What else is going on in my life? Okay, let's go back to my academics. I said I would save it for a later date, but let's talk about that because I have nothing else to do. Nothing else is going on in my life. So, basically, I'm 17. I'm meant to be going into year 13, which is like the last year of British like formal schooling, but I'm instead going into year 12 for the second time. Which is really fun. This is what happens because I dropped out of one of my subjects quite late. Like I was doing chemistry and I dropped out of chemistry in like May. Was it May or April? Something like that. It was far too late for dropping out of a subject and like continuing with it though, and like getting on with it. Also because annoyingly my school doesn't offer ASs, which is where you do like 1 year of an A-level and then you sit the formal exam. We don't do that. We don't sit the actual AS paper. We sit an old AS paper as a mock instead of just doing the AS and getting a qualification. Because if they let me do an AS, I would have stuck it out. Because as much as I hated chemistry, I might as well have gotten, you know, some UCAS points at qualification from it. But instead, no. So I'm redoing the year, which is fine. It's just a bit long. It's fine. But yeah, so I'm doing, for context, for a bit more context, a bit more background information here. I'm doing A-levels, which, if you're not from the UK, are like the exams you take at like 18 usually. You study for 2 years and you take these exams, and then you get like either your grades or your like UCAS points is what gets you into university. So yeah, well, there are loads of bugs in my room. That's fun. So yeah, I'm doing A-levels. I'm studying biology and photography, and I was doing chemistry. Then I dropped out of chemistry because many reasons. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the subject and like the information. I just hated the lessons and the way you had to like do it, because it's very like mathsy in that you have to just sit there and only do exam questions, and like my brain can't sit and just do exam questions for an hour. Like, teach me something. I would rather learn new content every lesson than like just have to do exam questions every lesson. And that's just like how you have to do A-level chemistry. So I dropped out, and I'm actually starting geography in September, which is in a few weeks. Yeah, it's scary. But I'm also like continuing on with photography so that like by this time next year I'll have finished my entire A-level in that. So then when I'm in year 13, I'm only doing 2 subjects, which makes like my life slightly simpler. Yeah. For people who say that are probably not from the UK, thinking like, oh my god, why do you only do 3 subjects? You have not seen the amount of work that goes into A-levels. Number 1, I no longer have, I actually threw out all of my chemistry work the other week, but I had 2 of those like big thick like 2-inch folders that were bursting at the seams. And then I had a 3rd folder, and that was 9 months maybe of chemistry work. I had 2 years of this. I currently have 1 of those big folders, it's actually right next to me, of biology, which is a lot. I also have, I'm on my 3rd sketchbook for photography, and these are like A4 sketchbooks, so they are massive, and I'm on my third one. And they weigh a ton. They're not fun, no one wants to carry them, they're ugly. Which is why mine never comes home with me. Like, I bought 2 of my 3 sketchbooks home for the holidays, so like, because I was convinced I was going to work on them. Have I touched them? No. But like, I would never carry them home under any other circumstances, because they literally sit in my drawer in the classroom, because they're disgusting to carry around. Like, it's not a fun experience. Yeah. I also do an EPQ, and an EPQ is a extended project qualification. It's basically you just like study something for a couple months and you like create an outcome. Either you do like a dissertation where you like write something, or you make an artifact. That's what I'm doing, an artifact, because I can't be asked to write. Probably should have just done a dissertation, but I really don't want to write like literature reviews. No thanks. So my intent is to make a video, and it's basically going to be a video where I take like the pilot episode of Bones and just rip it to shreds and just point out every inaccuracy and every problem with it. Yeah. To stay on the topic of academics, do you guys want to know like my future plans? Because my goal is to go into something really, really niche. Bar my future plan of like becoming my like future delusion, more like of becoming like a household name YouTuber. Actually, no. I don't want to be a household name YouTuber. I want to be a weird cult following YouTuber. I just want to be someone people know. I'd love to do YouTube. I'd love to get paid for doing YouTube, because I recently got a job. I started in September and I'm getting paid minimum wage. And minimum wage when you're 17 in the UK is about £5.25 an hour. Which is not very much, considering I'm also going to be working with children. It will be fine. But yeah, I'd love to actually earn some money. And what I want to go into is forensic anthropology, which, yes, is very niche. Let me explain it to you. So, forensic anthropology is where you look at bones and, like, determine things about them. So, think like doing an autopsy, but instead of looking at flesh, you're looking at bones. Famous forensic anthropologists include, number 1, the lady from Bones, Temperance Brennan. She's that, like, that show is, she is a forensic anthropologist. Unsurprisingly, it's not very accurate, because, yeah, you're not, like, hunting down bad guys. But also, the biggest, the OG, the beautiful Sue Black. I love Sue Black. But also like everyone who knows who Sue Black is loves Sue Black. Sue Black is kind of like the leading UK forensic anthropologist. She is wonderful. She is wonderful. Yeah. So that means I have to like look at unis and things. I'm actually going to Exeter soon to go and look at Exeter Uni. Because they do they do anthropology and archaeology, which is like my kind of backup subject. I say backup subject like that's not a subject only done at Russell Group unis. Am I going to get into a Russell Group on my current grade? No. If I pull a magic trick out of my arse? Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, but they also do a forensic science with archaeology degree, which could be quite interesting. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go and do. That's what I want to go and look at. But yeah, it's only me is going to choose a course where I have an option of about 5 unis. Also, if you don't know how the British university applications work, you can only apply to 5 universities. So I get 5 choices. I don't have much more than that. can apply to overseas unis though. I was fully considering, like, I could just apply to, like, what was I looking at the other day? NYU Shanghai. I'm sorry, is that not the most gorgeous thing ever? Just go study in Shanghai. Who wouldn't want to do that? Like, that's like my dream is to travel in China. Like, my life will end the day I get to visit Chengdu. Like, gorgeous. One day, I'll put that visa through, and I will have money, and will travel to China. I will get those trains, and I'll go and see Chongqing, and I'll go visit Chengdu, and it will be gorgeous. One day. But for now, I still don't have any money. So yeah, I have considered going to, like, online overseas places. The issue is looking at places where I can study in English. And my issue is, like, American universities are just weird. And you don't specialise really for very, like, long in American universities, which is so weird for me as a British person. Because in the UK you start to, like, specialise in year 9, which is when you're, like, 14. That's when you get to, like, choose what subjects you do and don't do. So I've been specialised. Like, I do 3 subjects these days. Like, I can't, like, you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna go study social science. What is social science as a degree? Like, that encompasses, like, 5 different things. I come to the UK, I could do, like, child sociology as a degree. Sorry, I'm niche. Yeah. America as a whole does kind of weird me out as a country though. Because why is it so big? And empty as well. The fact that what scares me about the US is, like, how empty it is. Because I am from the UK. We have like settled on every inch of this land. Because yeah, that's what you do when you're a tiny island. Yeah, I did actually visit Canada last summer with my mum to stay with my uncle, and he lives in rural Ontario. When I say rural, I mean rural. He lives on a little offshoot of a highway in the absolute middle of nowhere, backing onto a national park. There are maybe 5 or 6 houses on this little offshoot, and they're all, like, old retired people, and then, like, my uncle, his ex-girlfriend who lives on, like, a tiny home on his land, and their kid. That's personal information, but we'll get to that. And so it was such a weird experience for me and my mum, who live in a large city in England, to go and, like, experience the rural Canada. Like, the local Walmart was an hour drive away. An hour drive. I say that, like, an hour drive from my house would not even get me out of London. But an hour drive. Yeah. Like, the sheer scale of, like, North America scares me. I remember I had a friend who had friends who lived in America. And their friends were like, oh yeah, we're just going to the local beach. It's a 3-hour drive away. And so they considered living near the beach to be a 3-hour drive. A 3-hour drive. I live in London, a 3-hour drive would get me to Brighton. Like, that would get me to the beach. However, it does also take an hour to get out of the city. I can't lie, it would take me an hour to drive out of London. I'm saying this like I can drive. I can't drive. I'm 17, almost 18. I still can't drive. I have still not taken a single driving lesson. I took my theory test and failed it. unsurprisingly, because I hadn't studied for it. And I said I was going to do an intensive driving course this summer. The summer is almost over and I have not sat behind the wheel of a car yet. I've driven once in my life, and that was in February, when I did what did I do? I did basically I went to, it was called BMW World, or no, Mercedes World. I went to Mercedes World and I drove a Mercedes A-Class for an hour. And it was a driving experience, so I sat behind the wheel at this, I sat in this, extremely expensive car, and this guy told me how to drive for an hour, and it was an experience. I did, however, not reach over 15 miles per hour, but it was an experience, and that was my deciding factor of do I want to learn how to drive, or am I fine riding public transport, because I live in London, aka the only place in the UK with really good public transport. I would most definitely not be the last person in my family to not learn how to drive. Yeah. But I did then say yeah, I'll learn how to drive. Have not done a driving lesson. In my defence, half the people in my family can't drive. My mum learnt how to drive in her 40s, late 30s. My mum couldn't drive until she was pregnant with me, when where she worked gave her a car. And they're and she was oh yeah, I learned how to drive. She now has no licence. She never renewed her licence. She hasn't had a licence in 8 years. She doesn't drive. My sister also never learnt how to drive. My brother can't drive. So, is it really that deep? No, I live in London. Where am I driving to? Yeah, that's also another problem, is finding somewhere to take driving lessons. Because if I booked an hour-long driving lesson starting at my house, in an hour I would get, 1 mile down the street and back, because I would just sit in traffic the entire time. And also, I don't want to drive in London. Who wants to drive in London? I'm sorry, I don't want to be harassed by people on Lime bikes constantly. Also, you can see the moths in my room right now. I have these little tiny moth things that are in my room. It's really annoying, but I don't know what to do about them. Just have to live with them. But yeah, going back to driving, yeah, I can't drive. I don't know if I care enough to. The only reason that I took my theory test is because my dad kept getting on my case about it. Mainly because he paid for it. But I rescheduled it twice. No, I rescheduled it once, but I booked it really far out. And then I went and took it and failed. I didn't fail by much though. I passed some of it. I failed the road signs, so I don't know road signs. But I passed the hazard perception test. It's really perceptive. But yeah, it was fine. I don't really care enough. But it does make me feel bad, because it means that for another year of my life I feel old, because I'm just getting useful birthday presents. AKA last year my parents were oh yeah, I'll pay for driving lessons. Then I never did driving lessons. So I feel for my birthday again they're just gonna be oh yeah, I didn't get you a present, I'm just gonna pay for your driving lessons. I'm I haven't done any driving lessons. Chances are I'm not gonna do any. The only reason that I want to learn to drive is so that I can drive me and my mum to festivals, so that we don't have to get trains. The only reason I want to learn to drive is so that I can go somewhere without paying an £80 train fare. Sue me. That's the only reason I have to drive. Until I get to uni, and then I might need to learn how to drive, depending on where I end up. Yeah. Also, just because train fares in the UK are so expensive at the moment, for me to get to Exeter with a rail card, because also my 16 to 17 saver rail card that I love so much runs out in a month and a half, because it runs out the day before I turn 18. I'm actually so sad about that, because I've had this thing for 2 years and it's literally the greatest thing I've ever owned. That thing cost me £30 and I easily made back that £30 within the first 2 train tickets I booked. Basically, a 16 to 17 rail card gets you 50% off all train fares, like all national rail fares. Considering the price of national rail fares at the moment, that's a godsend. It's so good. But now, because I'm turning 18, I have to get the next one up, which is the 16 to 25, which only gets you 25% off. Which is sad. It means that when I'm booking these like train tickets to Exeter, I'm paying £40. Going for 1 day. Literally getting an early train in and then getting a train back. £40. I'm unemployed. I'm not unemployed. I have a job. I just haven't started yet. But even then, it's like half a month's wages for me. I love being young. Why am I? This is depressing. But yeah, basically, it costs me extensive amounts of money to go anywhere. Also because I live in London, which means it costs you about £4 just to leave the house at this point. Like, I leave that. I can't go somewhere and not spend any money. Yeah, I also pay so much to TfL. Like, I still have a Zip card, which is like a young person's bus card in the UK, or in London. And that still gets me free bus journeys, which is beautiful, because I love my free bus journeys. And it also gets me a reduced rate on the tube. If you have the one where you're under 16, then you get like properly reduced rate on the tube. And then if you have the slightly older one that I now have, you get a slight, I think you still get a reduced rate, but not as much. And oh my god, is it so expensive. It used to cost me about £1.50 to get from my house in East London to my dad's house in North London. It will now cost me, £5 to go into Central and back. I hate it. Why? TfL, why? And I know I feel bad complaining because, like, other places in the UK have it so much worse. But still, TfL, please. Just, like, let me get on for free. Yeah. It's quite sad. I do wish that, someone would, like, nationalise the rails so that we can afford to go on trains. Yeah. Also because, I've been looking at trying to get up to Dundee to go and look at the university there, because they have a forensic anthropology course. Coincidentally, the one that Sue Black founded. But I've, looked at trains to get up to go to, the open days, and to get the train, just the normal train, which takes nigh on 12 hours, it's going to cost me £167. £167. That's not including having to stay somewhere. And also I'm not travelling up that far on my own. So that's going to cost an arm and a leg. I can fly. We can get flights. The cheapest way to get to Dundee is to fly. We have to fly to either Edinburgh or Glasgow. And I honestly looked at how much it would cost me to go from Glasgow to Dundee recently, because I was like, oh, I'll just go up, I'll stay with my friend in Glasgow, and then I'll go to Dundee for the day. £40 to go from Glasgow to Dundee? No. But yeah. Do you know where £40 can also get me? Fucking Paris. I can get the Eurostar to Paris for £39. Or even, the Eurostar to Amsterdam, to Berlin, for £39. That's actually something I really want to do. I spend a lot of my time, when I'm really bored, planning out imaginary holidays, where I basically go on, Skyscanner, and, look at places I want to go and see how much money it would cost me. Which is really fun when I have, £2.50 in my bank account, and not a thought in the world of, how I'm getting to these places. But yeah, my many imaginary holidays, I've been considering going to Paris for a day. Because it doesn't take that long to get there. I don't live too, like, it only takes, I can get to St Pancras in 45 minutes on the bus for free. And then you can get a Eurostar for £39 to Paris. And you do have to pay £39 there and £39 back. Just a bit much. You can go for a day because it only takes you like... What the fuck just fell out of my hair? Okay. It only takes like 2 hours to get there. I was considering getting a little early morning train to Paris. Because why not? Oui, baguette. I actually do know more French than that, I won't lie. I actually do know a fair amount of French. That's a lie. When I see French things, I remember them. But do I actually know French? No. My language skills are questionable. I took Spanish GCSE. I took Spanish GCSE. I got a 7. I killed it. I got a 7. Which is surprising because I didn't think I was going to get a 7. I really thought Spanish was going to be my worst grade and then it just ended up not being, which was so fun. But yeah, I got a 7 at Spanish GCSE. Asked me to speak Spanish, I don't know a thing. But recently I was like looking at picking up learning French again because I haven't done a French lesson since like year 9, you know, when I was like 14. I was looking at like picking up a French lesson. I did some of those like online, like I took like a memorised placement quiz and I remembered a lot more French than I thought I did. Like I actually did, like as I was doing this little like placement quiz, I remembered a lot more. Which is kind of fun. But also I just don't care enough to learn French. I have been learning Mandarin recently. By recently I mean in like the last 2 days. I've been going on like yo-yo Chinese and learning Mandarin. Basically just because I really want to visit China. But is that not cool? Is that not fun? Is that not a slay? Like, I go through phases where I just attempt to pick up different languages for no reason. Can I speak anything but English? No. Is it fun to learn, like, to say really random things in different languages? Yeah. No. I studied Spanish for many, many years. I still can't speak Spanish. And I go to Spain semi-regularly. I mean, by semi-regularly, I mean my parents go regularly. And I go like once every 2 years because they go during term time. So I did actually go to Spain this year. I went at Easter, which was a really interesting experience to see like the Easter celebrations in Spain. Because they are wild. We're in this tiny little village and they have like 50 people carrying an effigy of Jesus on the cross, like through the little windy streets of this town. And also there's like 50 old ladies there. And I was just like, this is a wild experience. But yeah, still can't speak Spanish. It's fine. I'm bad at that. No one in my family is very good at learning languages. My sister studied Spanish all the way up until university, and she spent like her gap year in Central America. She still can't speak Spanish. My nan has been going to Tenerife every winter for like 20 years, and she still can't speak Spanish. So I'll let myself off. Oh, I have a bug bite on my foot. It's really annoying. Oh, but I get so many bug bites in this house. I don't know what it is. I think it's just coming out the windows. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay. Moving on. Another topic. What other topics do I have? What else is going on in my life? Not very much. Oh, crochet. What am I doing? I've been crocheting recently. A couple weeks ago, I finished the project I made my mum for her birthday, because it was her birthday like 2 weeks ago. And I made my mum a jumper, which is very fun, very slay, very demure, very cute. I hate that phrase. I actually do. I still don't know what the fuck demure means. But yes, I made my mum a jumper. and before that I made myself a jumper and like a t-shirt, like a little shirt thing. But I started tapestry crocheting again, which is I actually have, you can't see, you can see this tapestry crochet I have here, which is the dogs from the Twin Fantasy album cover. I just exposed myself as a classy headdress fan. Don't mind that. There's also a Crowank t-shirt next to that, so I also exposed myself as a Crowank fan. It's fine. But I started tapestry crocheting again, and I'm doing yet another album cover. But this time I'm doing the 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge album cover, like the My Chemical Romance album. And it's fun, because I'm only using like 4 colours, because I'm just doing the based version of it. So I'm only using like black, white, grey and red. It's starting to churn out really well. Because I'm using chunky yarn, and I'm using like a grid, I think I made it too big, because it's 80 stitches by 80 stitches, my pattern, and it's going to be ginormous, like actually ginormous. That back there I think is 50 by 80, and that's quite big, so this one's going to be even bigger. And I had to buy 2 more skeins of black yarn, and I think I'm going to need to buy another one. Which is great, because I was going to do this as like a stash buster and only use things that I had at home. And then I had to buy more black yarn. So that's really fun. But it's fine. I've been doing that. It's actually been really fun, because I actually now have a desk that I can sit at, which is where I'm sitting now. So I can actually sit at my desk and crochet. And I'm using Stitch Fiddle, which is like a website where you can make tapestry crochet patterns, and you can do it you can insert a picture or even a QR code. You can insert a picture and then it will convert. You can insert a picture and it will like convert it into a grid for you, and then you can just follow it. So that's what I've done. So I'm on like almost row 30 of 80. So it's going well. And I'm like maybe a third of the way into my like the second skein of black yarn, which is so fun. And I only have 1 other skein after this, so I might need to buy another one. But that's alright. There was something else I was gonna add. What else was that? I was about to say something, and then I just like my brain died. What was I about to say? My brain just died. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Okay, so while I've been crocheting, literally the only thing I've been doing has been listening to Pretty Lonesome, which is the Madeline RG podcast. Part of the reason why I'm filming a podcast. Like, I'm honestly almost 30 episodes in, and I started the other day. I started on like Monday, and it's today, Friday. That's all I've been watching. Is I've just sat down, had Stitch Fiddle open on my laptop, and like the Madeline RG podcast, like Pretty Lonesome on my phone, and now I've just sat here and crocheted. Or I've sat playing The Sims. I'm watching Pretty Lonesome. Oh my god, do you want me to catch you up on my Sims lore, like my Sims save lore at the moment? So I started out with this family, and basically I just wanted to like, I kind of wanted to play out University again, like fully, because I haven't done it in a while. But I'd also seen that you can, if you graduate early, you can enroll in university as a teen. So I did that, and basically I graduated, I got my sim graduated early. She's called Susan. It was also this kind of like 70s inspired family. They're very cute. But my little sim is Susan. She enrolled in university doing a fine arts degree at Rochester, a fancy one. What was the word with honours? I don't know, where you do like the step up degree, not the beginner's degree. Also, she's currently, so she did this fine art degree, and she is currently a global superstar, as in 5-star celebrity. And the way I got her to superstardom is she was a painter. So she would paint, and then I'd like sell the paintings to a collector or to a museum, and that gives you fame. And she became a superstar. Like, that's all I did, was like that, and then like uploaded on Simstagram. And she's a global superstar. She has a star on the Walk of Fame. She's up there with Judith Ward. But yeah, she also married Molly Prescott, who's the daughter of the principal from high school years. And then we had a baby called Owen. And then I was getting bored of the family. Also, my sim also climbed the mountain in Malcolm Ribbey. Really doing everything with this sim. She has so many like of the like bonus traits. It's insane. But we had a son called Owen. I climbed a mountain. And then I was getting bored of the family, so I was like, let me cause some drama. So I had my sims get in massive arguments and then get divorced. And then we moved. So now we were living in the city, and now we're living in Willow Creek, in a fancy little house in the bit near the Goths. Living in this fancy little house. But I also got my main sim pregnant before they got divorced. I was like, I want another baby. Why did I say that? I despise Sims infants. My son hadn't even aged up into a toddler yet. My son then aged up into a toddler. I despise Sims for infants. They are disgusting. But I got my sim pregnant with twins because I wanted a girl. Because I had them try for a baby and she didn't get pregnant, so I just MC Command Center start pregnancy there. And then it said that she was just going to have a boy. So I was like, no, I want a girl. So I put in one girl, like one female. And then it gave me twins. So I've girl and boy twins. They're called, what are they even called? Alex and Emily. And they're blonde. All of my sims are blonde. I don't think that's actually how the blonde gene works, but actually it is, because Molly Prescott is blonde, and my sim Susan is blonde. Yeah, it could have been worse. I was considering getting a cow plant to eat my wife instead, but I couldn't fish one up, and it was taking too long to like grow a dragon fruit, so I gave up on that. So yeah, we just got divorced instead. We moved out to this big house. And now I have my sim was in the stylist career, but she was like top of the career and I was kind of bored of it, so she's now in the gardening career as like a flower arranger, like doing like floral arrangements, and she's like level 6. Fun fact, that's what my sister does. My sister's a florist, which is fun. You can do what you want to do, kids. You can be who you want to be. I'm getting slightly delirious. It's almost 11 o'clock, I'm getting slightly delirious because I've been talking for 54 minutes. Yep. So I am getting kind of tired and I should probably sleep at some point tonight and, drink some water. Let me drink some water. Where the fuck is my water bottle? It's on the floor. It's down here. Let me drink some water. Yeah, my throat hurts. Let me drink some water. Here's the water bottle. It's a thermos. This is nice. Let's put that out of frame. But yeah, that's my Sims lore at the moment. Also, so the eldest son Owen just aged up into a child, and I want him to become a world famous actor. Because why not? I also want to make my daughter emo, but she's currently an infant. State back to why I absolutely hate infants. So she has no personality traits yet. But yeah, that's where the Sims are at the moment. Speaking of the Sims, I really want Horse Ranch. I really want the Sims 4 Horse Ranch. My goal is to get it in the Black Friday sale when it'll be 60% off. Fingers crossed, be 60% off. Because I can't afford it otherwise. I actually own a lot of the expansion packs, which is really bad because whenever my parents ask me like how much money you spend on The Sims, I honestly don't know, nor do I want to figure out how much I spent on The Sims, because it is an ungodly amount of money. Because I own almost all of the expansion packs, and I own a fair few like stuff packs and a fair few game packs. I don't own many kits though. I think I've only bought 2 kits, and I have a couple of ones I got for free. But I spent an ungodly amount of money on The Sims, which is kind of bad, can't lie, it's kind of bad. But I have playing Sims for like 5 years, so I think it's fine that I've spent unholy amounts of money on The Sims. Yeah. It's fine. There are like worse things I could be spending money on, obviously. So yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think that is a good place to cut off this episode. So, I think that is a good place to finish up this episode. So, tell me, have you enjoyed yourself? Have you found the library? You know, leave us a 5-star Yelp review in the comments. Yeah. To ask me anything. What do you want to hear about? I will yap for about whatever you want. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you're feeling ever so inclined. You can go follow me on the rest of my social media if you want to. Not, fish for compliments, but go follow me. And yeah, I don't know when I will ever upload this. And I may also upload this and then upload a vlog that I filmed like 2 months ago that I never got around to editing. But yeah, that has been the first episode of The Library. Volume 1 finished. So, bye. I'll see you next time. And welcome to the library. That was fun. That was really fun.